Stefan Clark says, how do you find harmony with business and love life? Yeah. My wife's laughing. Well, I didn't until I hired a couple of people, because I was making like 18 million a year and I was one dude, and that was stupid. I shouldn't have done that. I should have hired some people. So, when my business was smaller and I could just be one man and still have a life, a personal life and love life and all of that. But once it blew up and I didn't hire people, that thing wasn't well looked after. It got neglected. But then as soon as I hired people, I was able to, spend time with my wife again and take weekends off and go on vacations and things like that. So as soon as your business starts making money and it's demanding ridiculous amounts of your time, just look to hire people ASAP, because there's no other way. And if you can't afford to hire people and your business is demanding all of your time, then you're doing something fundamentally wrong. Like that's a trap. It's like a death trap. If you get stuck in a business where you can't hire anyone and you have to work like a dog with no breaks ever, and the business is screwed up. Something's wrong there. Or you are delusional in the things that you're doing. Like you might be working on the totally wrong things. When you get things tuned up, you know that when you put in an ounce of effort, there's going to be a reaction. But when you're working on the wrong things, you put in an infinite amounts of effort and nothing comes out the other end. So you've got to analyze like the causes and effects, the relationships in everything that you do. Every action that you take, what is the reaction of it? And you only want to be putting your time into places that have some sort of effect. So Austin says, is it hard to balance personal life with work hours? Yeah, definitely. It depends how big and demanding and hungry your personal life is. So I think when a lot of people first start their business, their personal life is huge because they've been bored. They've had nothing else to do, because they've got their job, and then when they're not at their job, they just want to have fun and socialize. And so they build these pretty big personal lives where they're going, I'll give you mine as an example. I went out every Friday and Saturday night because that was the habit I got into from university, because that's what everyone did there. And I would constantly be Facebook messaging my friends, looking at hot girls on Facebook, and just going out, getting drunk, sleeping in, eating McDonald's, and hanging out with my friends and just doing stuff like that. And so when I first went to start my business, I found that I had pretty much no time because my social life was so huge, and I definitely had to cut that back. The time's got to come from somewhere. You just can't make time. You've only got so many hours of it. One thing I recommend everyone should do, I do this exercise pretty much every month to try and figure out where my time is going and where I can save time. I taught this to my mastermind students too, and it was one of the best things they said they got from it. And the way to think about it is that you have, each week, you have 100 units of time. So just think about it as 100 units. And then what you want to do is next week, when you go to work on Monday or whatever, you want to have a notepad out like this or whatever, and you just want to, every hour, mark down what you did. And it doesn't matter if you just wasted that hour, you still have to write down what you did to waste that hour. And so just track every hour from the moment you woke up and you opened your eyes to the moment you went to sleep. You want to trace where every hour went for a whole 7 days. And that'll be like an awakening experience for everybody, because even when I do it now and I think I'm optimized, I spot so much waste. And once you spot where that waste is, you can start to get rid of it. the best way to get more time and the best way to have a more personal life is to get rid of things that aren't either of those. You know, you'll find that most of the time you actually spend each week doesn't go into the business properly, and it doesn't go into your personal life properly. It gets wasted on useless crap. So you want to track it, measure where it's going. Brandon says, Sam, I feel burnt out. Should I take a day off? It depends if you're actually burnt out or if you're just wimping out. That's a fine line. Because sometimes, like a good way to know if you're burnt out or not is if you haven't taken any days off in the past few weeks. Like, I find you have to take a day off a week. I mean, you can sometimes do the odd 3 weeks binge where it's just every day for 3 weeks because you've just got a huge project coming up. But generally, you'll get real burnt out from that. So if you've been taking days off and you think you're burnt out, chances are you're not burnt out, and you just need to suck it up. But if you haven't taken days off for a while, then you're good. You just always got to fact check yourself. Think to yourself, am I just wimping out or am I actually burnt out?